Alright, what is up, everybody? This is going to be What if Tanjiro is a reincarnation of Yoriichi, Part 5, if I'm correct. If I'm correct. So, yeah, as you all know, Kocho did not die in the last part because I didn't want him to die. So, yeah, so that's that, and let's get on with the video. And please leave a like and subscribe. If you guys really like this video, then please comment down below for some more, and yeah, please leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell notification to get notified whenever I drop a new video. So yeah, let's get straight to this. Okay, so after the fight or after the train arc, yeah, Kocho is in recovery and they take him to the Butterfly Mansion and he recovers for a few days and Kocho asks Tanjiro if he wants to come with him to his house or compound or whatever you want to call it, and Tanjiro obliges and says yes, and they go and once they get there, Kocho meets up with his brother, which looks exactly the same, and they catch up. And Kocho's father comes in and starts berating Kocho on how weak he was, and that he has no talent, and that he should have never ever become a pillar, and basically just starts berating him. And Tanjiro is getting really or annoyed at this, and takes out his sword, and in his head he says, "Hino Kamikagura," or "Dance of the Fire God," and then it turns into a fire. And then Kocho, noticing that his earring says, "You're you're the breath of the sun user," and Tanjiro was are in a not a and not like a like confused, but he's like, "Yes, I am one of the breath of the sun users." And Kocho's dad says, "Are you here just to make fun of us?" And Tanjiro says, "Why would I make fun of you? There's no reason to." And yeah, basically that happens, and starts talking about how the dance of the fire god or Hino Kamikaze or sun reading is the original source of or the original breathing technique or the first ever breathing technique, and says that all the other breathing techniques are inferior to the dance of the fire god. And yeah, and so after that, Kojiro tells his father to back off, and Kojo's dad reluctantly agrees and goes bedside. Then to that, Tanjiro, or later Tanjiro goes in and tries to get information more about the Hino Kamikaguro, Dance of the Fire God, or Sunbeating. And then he realizes that all the information about the Dance of the Fire God has been ripped apart, and Kojiro thinks that if it's his father. And so yeah, and so as you guys already know, that there was a 4 month time period, and in those 4 months, Tanjiro has been getting nightmares. Oh, I actually want to state one thing that I want to give a shout out to MK. He gave me this idea about, and the ship is gonna be Kanao. What the hell? And I'm actually gonna make her the reincarnation of Yoriichi's wife, as we all know that Yoriichi's wife, or if people have read the manga that, or yeah, people have read the manga that we all know that Yoriichi's wife died, and yeah, and then in these like months, Tanjiro has been getting nightmares of him as Yoriichi or witnessing his family's death, and he always wakes up with the Koto that says, "Oh, it was just a dream," and Tanjiro falls back asleep, and Kanao has been getting the same dreams that Tanjiro has been receiving, and so she wakes up in a cold sweat, and she says that was a dream. So this keeps on happening to Tanjiro and Kanao, and yeah. And then after that, then after the 4 month time period, Tanjiro goes back to the butterfly house or whatever you want to call it, and at the corner of at the corner of his eye, he sees women are getting kidnapped, or so seemingly getting kidnapped, and we all know this as the sound pillar, as Tengen or whatever you want to call Tegan. Tengen, or yeah, I believe I'm just gonna call him Tengen. And yeah, and then Tanjiro goes in and says, why are you kid, or assumes that he's an evildoer. And then he reveals himself as to be the Sun Pillar, and Tanjiro asks why he's taking these women, and Tanjiro, I don't know. The Sun Pillar says that he needs them for a mission, or Ayo, dude, I forgot her name. Um, yeah. But instead of doing that, Tanjiro says that if he can come along, and this the Tegan, that, or whatever, or no, I'm just calling the Sunbreak because I just can't pronounce it. So he reluctantly agrees to Tanjiro to come along, and Zenitsu and Inosuke tag along as well. And so, and when he was about to leave, Tanjiro asks about the mission. He says, Sun Pillar, I mean, not yeah, Sun Pillar. And Tanjiro says that, what is this mission that we're going on? And Sun Pillar says that we are going to the industry. And if you guys don't know what the red light industry is, it's basically a area of prostitution, I guess. And yeah, and so when they're about to leave, and then the Sunflower says, "Hurry up!" And blinding speed, he's like very far away, and Tanjo can keep up because he saw him move. And to them, he looks like a the size of a seed. And Tanjo holds on to, or Tanjo holds Zenitsu and Inosuke's hand, and he blitzes to where he is. And so when they were getting to the general area of the red light industry, the Sun Pillar stops them and tells them of his plan, that he needs to search for his wives. And what the hell? Why did I say that? Zenitsu says that you are a liar, and how could a guy like you have a wife? And the Sun Pillar shows him the letters that he has been receiving from his wives, and then yeah, and then everything. And so he tells, so then how are we supposed to get in? And and then he has a plan. So and you all know that he has to be cross cross dressing to a girl, and this time it's actually going to be more easier for Tanjiro because his hair is more longer, and yeah, so it's more easier. So he looks like kind of like a girl, if you know what I mean. So, so once they go and then they split up or they get bought and go to different areas, and between these days they have been trying to find or trying to get information on the Sun Pillar's wives, and yeah, and so everything, and until Inosuke hears about, I forgot her name, but it's Hima no, or Hima Ke, or whatever her name was. And then he goes into the room, and it looks all torn up, but nobody's in it until he looks up and sees that there's something on the roof. So I believe Inosuke throws a bowl of soup and says that, I know that you're in there, and tries to go and fight it, but or tries to go into the room, or like whatever he does, and tries to go fight it, but he has no luck. And we go back to where Zenitsu, and he hears a girl crying in this room, and he goes in and goes into comfort her, and this is where like the main girl of the house comes in, and Zenitsu hears that she is emitting noises of a demon, and Zenitsu gets chills out of this, and yeah, he just gets chills, and then she starts berating the girl for crying, and after that he grabs her hand and looks at him with disgust, and starts berating him that he looks ugly and everything, and he throws him or kicks him or whatever she does to through rooms, or kicks him through rooms or whatever. And she notices that he got into a defensive stance, or like a blocking position, and she realizes that he or she is a demon slayer, but Zenitsu is still cross-dressing. And so yeah, after that, Zenitsu, the Sun Pillar, Inosuke and Zenitsu, um, not Zenitsu, Tanjiro, they meet up, and Tanjiro says, "Where's Zenitsu?" And the Sun Pillar says that he's not coming. You guys, you survive, you win. And then Tanjiro gets upset at this and runs off and goes thanks the guys that took or the place that they took care of him, because I believe that Tanjiro still has the kind heart and he would like you know um appreciate that. Okay, I don't know what the hell. And yeah, and so after that, Tanjiro senses or smells a demon nearby, and so he goes and then after that he spies, and then he gets spotted, and Tanjiro runs and to the streets and fight. And I know I'm gonna get and the girl's name is like very hard to say. So I'm gonna just call her Hime. Because why the hell is names are so hard? So I'm gonna just call it Hime just because. So Hime and Tanjiro are fighting, and Zenitsu, damn it, why do I keep saying Zenitsu? Inosuke and the Sound Pillar are fighting. Jesus Christ, I can't even. Okay, so after that, so they're fighting, and then there's just a bunch of cloth around, and Tanjiro, and like this is like a part of her demon blood art. Like her clothes are part of her demon blood art, and yeah, and Tanjiro is trying to slash, so because he just can't find an opening, and then he gets an opening and uses the second form of the Dance of the Fire God. He says, "Dance of the Fire God, what's flash?" And Tanjiro just blitzes and destroys every piece of cloth. And while Tanjiro is fighting Hime, while Tanjiro is fighting Hime, Inosuke finds her nest or den and uh goes in by dislocating his arms and legs and basically just going in like just like a snake. And once he gets in there, he sees that there's a bunch of cloth, and there are women all around from the city. And he sees Zenitsu, and then there's this big or this cloth that comes down. It's like a extension of her body. Like it like has like a will of its own. And so Jesus, why do I keep saying Inosuke fights the cloth and destroys it and gets Zenitsu out. And the Sun Pillar finds one of its wives, and they are trapped basically. And Zenitsu, Inosuke, and the Sun Pillar and his wives are trapped. And yeah, oh, Jesus Christ. And Zenitsu, in his unconscious state, destroys the cloth very easily. And that's where I'm going to leave it off, guys. Please, if you guys really enjoyed this, please leave